right. Hey, welcome back, Taurians. All right, Taurus, let's get a full moon message for starters. Happy full moon. We've got Sacred Purpose, Eternal Flame, Ancestral Legacy, card 43. Okay, so one thing I should mention is this is the full buck moon. It's named that because it's the time where the deer antlers like really accelerate in growth. So full moons are usually about releasing things, bringing things up from the subconscious to the surface that need to be released. But in this case, there's also this element of acceleration. So with this Sacred Purpose, Eternal Flame, and Ancestral Legacy, I mean, obviously it looks like the way this full moon could be impacting Taurus right now could be, wow, I'm clicking into high gear right now. I have a talent that I didn't even realize I had that's coming to the surface. I'm starting to like really understand what my purpose is here, what talents I possess, what things I'm here to do. Taurus with the Justice card here, I'm thinking that Taurus is first and foremost ready to start making some good decisions. They could be identifying things that have been unfair and balanced if they're dealing with a Libra. It could also be like weighing, hey, do I really like the way I'm being treated? If not, then I think I'm going to go ahead and call it out for what it is. My purpose in this life is not just to suffer. My purpose is not to, be somebody who has to receive the short end of the stick. Now, this could be that, 5 of Cups. Okay, I got to say, Taurus could also be the kind of person where part of their, like, they could be motivated right now to like pick up a social cause, to be a part of like changing the world for the better. Taurus could be somebody who's like, look, I care about, the plight of my fellow humanity. I care about friends. I care about the people on this earth. And I see injustices. I see people at disadvantages, and I want to help. Now, I'm getting this vibe that Taurus could also be like a mental health counselor, a social worker of sorts. They could be someone who's just, they see where people's struggles are, even if it's about a partner. And it's like, okay, I'm seeing that a partner struggles because they didn't have enough of whatever it was that they needed. I feel like Taurus is getting the big picture, and it's simultaneously making them step back and say, wow, the fact that I can intuit this, I can spot this, I can view this, I can acknowledge it. It doesn't mean I'm going to, tolerate less than what I'm worth, but it is making me able to see that other people struggle with things. And that is perhaps why they end up becoming selfish, why they start to only want stuff for themselves instead of thinking about others as well. So how do we fix the root of the problem? Maybe by acknowledging where the problem began. What are you lacking? What are you missing? Because that in turn is making you do things that are unfair because you're perpetually trying to get the stuff that you're hungry for. And it just feels like Taurus has this incredible perspective. They're able to see this. This really could be Taurus is having a massive breakthrough with a soulmate. We have that 6 of Cups. This could be like Taurus is, I'm going to say, possibly the energy of releasing is going to be more important for Taurus, so they can make space for this amazing talent and quality that they have, this amazing perception where they're like, oh my God, I get it. This is why I was drawn to this, maybe Libra. This is why I was drawn to this person who has admittedly given me not enough. I have perhaps given them immeasurable patience. But I'm realizing now, perhaps the reason I was ever drawn to them in the first place is they're a soulmate. They are somebody that I'm, drawn to because I have something that they don't have. They've been hungry to have my energy in their life because they have needed some kind of energy that I supply. Soulmates learn lessons together. And the thing is, I'm not saying Taurus should have to, remain with soulmates or keep giving just because like, oh, well, this person needs my energy because they're a hot mess, because that sounds condescending too. It's more that Taurus is getting something out of this, which is the awareness that, oh my, I get it now. I am aware that this maybe is one of my talents, or this is something that I too was drawn to them. Maybe I'm a healer. Maybe I'm a shaman. Maybe I'm somebody who is able to recognize a past life soulmate so that I can clear out karma with them, or help them to clear out karma that somehow I got connected to. Maybe this is someone I have cared about from, many lifetimes ago. And that is the reason why I was attracted to them, drawn to them, a part of their life, even though, look, I do think that Taurus has not been treated fair. And I think it's because Taurus realizes it's not even about this person not wanting to treat me fair. It's about their own limitations that they have been, I'll say, buried in, their own feelings of what they didn't have to fulfill them. This could be a lifetime of feeling inadequate. This could be not being loved enough as a child. And this individual, Taurus, is like identifying, oh my God, that's why you haven't been able to give to me adequately, because your baseline needs were never met in your own life. I get it now. And I also get why I've been drawn to you, maybe why you've been drawn to me, because there's this energy of, I understand you so much better. I understand a situation so much better. I'm not wounded by this. I see where your deficit has been and why I haven't been getting more from you, and why I signed up to maybe interact with you. This is allowing Taurus to, number one, you see all the alignment here. All the chakras are aligned. Taurus is like going off the charts with like awareness, self-awareness, awareness of their life talents. I'm not going to say life purpose necessarily, because I don't think the only thing Taurus is here to do is, just help a soulmate, like heal or ascend. But Taurus themselves did need to recognize that this is a gift that they have, that maybe they are a healer. But we have the Judgment card here. So this is about like resurrecting things. It's also, well, in this deck, it's like becoming tapped in, tuned in, turned on. I think Taurus themselves is having this massive breakthrough where they're understanding things from the higher perspective, particularly about a past life soulmate that they have currently still dealt with, that has been both strenuous and frustrating. And, and instead they're having this incredibly like, oh my God, I'm not wounded by any of this anymore. I'm not even drained by this anymore. I am understanding why. Why was I drawn to them? Why couldn't they give me more? I get it. They couldn't give more, but they did care about me, or they do care about me. And they're drawn to me for this purpose. I don't know is this the breakthrough where Taurus is either just going to understand the role that they played with somebody, or is this going to be Taurus now has a way to like help this person to heal in a more advanced way? Are we accelerating a healing? Or is this just Taurus totally claiming this and being like, holy hell, I have the gift of, helping clear karma. I have the gift of helping people have breakthroughs. This is my talent. We have this Phoenix rising from the ashes on this Ace of Wands. I'm going to say this is Taurus, like having mind blown, like, holy shit, this is why they've been in my life. This is why I was drawn to them. This is why I even kind of like suffered a bit dealing with them, because they couldn't give me what they should have been able to, but I get all of it now. Now, this still does not mean Taurus needs to say, okay, then I'll take them back and I'll, they'll be my pity project that I keep feeding, even though I know that they still will never be able to love me right. Let me put it in a different context. Let's say this isn't about lovers. Let's say this is about a parent-child relationship. Let's say a parent had significant problems. Here we have somebody who's going out running amok at night, right? Stumbling around in the dark. They lose their shirt. They got bottles of alcohol with them. There's something inside of them that isn't healed, right? There's something that they've been looking for. And it's like, wow, why couldn't you have just been the parent that you should have been? Why weren't you there? Why were you so selfish and stuck in, the bottle or whatever it is? And I think this is saying, oh my God, I'm totally free of thinking of you that way. What I see is you were a wounded human being who didn't have your own baselines met, and you were struggling with your own problems. It's not even about you not showing up for me, not caring about me. It was your complete inability to maybe do that until you had some fulfillment. And I can extend understanding into that situation, which means I no longer hurt over this. This is Taurus no longer hurting. This is not about Taurus needing to give forgiveness. This is not about Taurus needing to now say, okay, let me piggyback you and carry you on my back, because obviously you have more problems than me. So now my only purpose on this earth is to make sure I have to fix what you didn't have. This isn't about Taurus becoming a fixer, but this is Taurus no longer hurting over this scenario. And it is Taurus recognizing, you know what, this is a real gift. The fact that I can see and understand things like this. And now that Taurus is like, it's like they got their these amazing goggles on where they're admitting, like, I have like X-ray vision is what I'm realizing. I can see wounds and why people do certain things when they're wounded, that's a real talent to have. And let me embrace this about myself. So maybe I've always been a bit of a healer without knowing it. Maybe I've always, gravitated toward people, or people who gravitated toward me because they knew I could understand them. This is still Taurus saying with the Ace of Cups, now I love me though, and I'm going to give love to myself. I'm going to do what's right for me, but I definitely am not angry. I am not hurt anymore. And I can accept the context. You know what? I can accept a parent might have loved me so much, but they couldn't have done much better than what they did because of their own deficits. Or a lover, I get it. They wanted me more than they've wanted anybody else on this planet, but they still couldn't give me what I deserved. I'm no longer hurting, feeling like they were intentionally withholding or trying to harm me by not loving me enough. They didn't have the capacity to do more than that. And now that I see it, it's like, mind blown. Holy smokes. I am free of any of that hurt or burden. And now I feel super empowered. And I feel like, God, I can totally love myself. In fact, I know I do love myself more than people who maybe are still struggling with these huge deficits. And that sense of comprehension leads Taurus to be basically impervious to feeling hurt by people who don't have the capacity to give more. We got this moon, and of course, this is a full moon message. This is Taurus like letting go of maybe years of burdens and hurt. This is Taurus becoming so much lighter and happier. They may still be dealing with this soulmate, but they're actually going to be able to not feel sad or bitter if that soulmate, he's going to be married to this person. They're not going to feel hurt, sad, or bitter that how come they can't love me right. Now it's like, they have such a huge deficit to start with. It's not about them not loving me. In fact, they do probably really want me as much as they could possibly give. That's what they've got. And it might be coming up way short. But on the other hand, I get it. But that doesn't prevent me from loving myself. This is like this huge sense of awareness. And I don't think Taurus is going to go strut around and tell them like, hey, what I figured out, you've got all these problems. This is Taurus keeping that gem of information to themselves. But it changes the way Taurus looks at the world, right? We've got these gems inside of the towers, on this moon card, world card. Oh my God. Either this is going to allow Taurus to possibly move on from a partnership or remain in a partnership, but no longer be stressed out and start giving more energy to themselves and living a much better quality, happier life. Like if Taurus still wants to stay with this soulmate, and they may in this storyline, they're going to be a lot happier because they're no longer judging this person's inability to match them as a lack of caring. Now, again, slippery slope here. Even in fictional stories like this, I don't ever encourage a character to like, okay, well, somebody doesn't treat me fair, but I'll still stay. Like, hell no, I want my characters to get fairness, but I also don't control my characters. They do what they need to do, however they're going to do it. This is a very delicate scenario that I'm trying to explain, and I'm probably being clumsy with my vocabulary because it's a hard one to explain. This is somebody that Taurus could have a long-standing relationship with lifetime after lifetime. And maybe they're like, I don't even want to not have this person in my life, but at least now I'm not hurt by their what inabilities they've got to give me more. If I stay with this person, or if they're like a parent, and of course they'll always still be my parent, I may always have a relationship with them, but their inabilities to give me more no longer hurt me. And I don't need to tell them that. It's just something I know in myself. And oh my God, I feel freaking amazing. I feel fabulous now. I feel like my whole life, my eyeballs see the world in a different way. I see wounded people in a different way. It doesn't hurt me. And I don't hurt for them necessarily. I just understand them. I understand where we're all at. And I'm determined I'm going to love myself better from here on out. But I don't need to walk around and tell people this is what's wrong with you. I just know from me, thank God I'm not in that deficit energy, but it'll probably make Taurus have better boundaries and simultaneously be more understanding, more compassionate, and not expect certain things out of people that clearly don't have the capacity to give it, which is going to make the all-around experiences that Taurus has with others better. Four of Wands. If this leads to Taurus walking away from a connection, they're going to have a much better, this is possibly, Taurus could marry somebody and have a very happily ever after. If Taurus had a strained relationship with like a parent, and that somehow was impeding other relationships in their life with soulmates because they didn't get what they needed from a parent, and that was like, okay, how am I ever going to expect to be loved properly by a soulmate or a lover later on in life? This is a big breakthrough for Taurus, and they're going to be able to say, oh my God, it's okay for me to love myself and know that I have a ton to give. And my worth is not dependent upon whether or not my parent could have expressed, love to me and given me safety and security. I am already valuable. And now I can move on and have the happiest relationship of my life. I can marry somebody and I can have a true partnership. Because the first thing was I had to have a relationship with myself. And I think Taurus had a bad pattern set for them if it was with a parent, or Taurus has recognized that about, like I said, a partner they were already with, and they're understanding this about that partner. So we could look at it in a lot of different ways, but the bottom line still remains Taurus's relationships get so much better from here on out. So amazing. Like their eyes are so opened to something that they just didn't see before. And I feel like that is probably one of the strongest, nicest full moon messages. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.